When the earthquake hit, I got my spine crushed trying to save my sister. Later, she scammed me out of my medical money, bought herself a house, and married my first love in style. Meanwhile, I missed out on treatment due to lack of cash, and ended up paralyzed for life. I opened my eyes and found myself back at the moment of the earthquake. This time, I ignored my sister's cries for help and ran out on my own. My first love demanded, "Your sister's still inside. Go save her or you're selfish." I shoved him toward the collapsing building. "Yeah, right. You're the selfless one. Go on, be a hero." I was startled awake by swaying lights. Realization flooded me. I'd been reborn. The scene was exactly like in my past life. My parents were out, leaving just me and my sister at home. An earthquake hit out of nowhere. Without thinking, I ran to the door. Living on the 3rd floor, I had a decent chance of escaping. But in my past life, I turned back to save my sister. I managed to pull her out, using all my strength to get her to safety. Yet, just as we reached the building exit, an aftershock hit. My sister pushed me away and ran first. I stumbled back and fell. As I got back up to make a run for it, the door collapsed. Massive rocks and the door frame crashed onto my back. Debris fell from above, cutting her and me off from the disaster scene. Thankfully, the firefighters rescued me in time. I survived, but with a broken spine in need of a big surgery. I believed surviving a disaster would bring good luck. But what awaited me was a cheating boyfriend and a sister who took all my assets. Even my parents, who rushed back from out of town, greeted me with, "Forget it. We don't have that kind of money." I fought for myself, "But I have savings, 50,000. My parents looked scornfully. "That has to be saved for your sister's wedding. You're already like this. Do you want us to lose everything?" So, my sister, whom I saved, married my boyfriend using my life-saving money. And I was left paralyzed because I couldn't afford treatment. Living through it again, I didn't hesitate to walk out the door. No point in talking about familial bonds with those who feast on my flesh and blood. My boyfriend lived in the unit next to mine. Once I was safely out, I saw him anxiously looking around. He relaxed a bit when he saw me, but got frantic when he didn't see my sister behind me. "Where's Lisa?" "Oh, seems like Sean and Lisa were already fooling around behind my back in the last life, and I didn't notice." I pulled a confused look. "What?" Sean got worked up, shouting at me, ignoring that I just escaped a near-death experience. "Your sister, Lisa." "Jane, are you even a proper sister? You run out alone during the earthquake, leaving your own sister behind." People say disasters reveal true human nature. There was a couple nearby fighting to get divorced. Because her husband bolted as soon as the quake hit, the wife said, "Marrying you was the worst fate. I want a divorce." Truly selfish. The crowd shifted their judgmental eyes onto me. Aren't they supposed to be twins? These days, you can't rely on husbands, or even big sisters, eh? So selfish. My 3-year-old's more caring. Hearing all the blaming voices, a chill ran through me. In my last life, when I became paralyzed saving someone and faced betrayal from everyone, no one stood up for me. Living this life again, I needed to cut off the heartless family feeding on me. But I wouldn't let these ignorant folks label me as selfish either. "Jane, hurry and save your sister. You're selfish if you don't." I grabbed Sean's arm and pushed him towards the crumbling building. "If not for you, I wouldn't have known Lisa was home. After all, she usually goes out drinking at night." "Sean, as a man, you're fast. Can you save my sister? Please, I'm begging you." Yeah, you're the make-believe hero. Go on in." Sean didn't want to go, but seeing people's approving gazes, he reluctantly charged in. Almost the instant he entered, the building collapsed. Hearing the gasps, I subtly smirked. If he's so fond of my sister, he can join her inside. After the aftershock ended, firefighters and search dogs quickly arrived. Sean and Lisa were near the entrance, and it didn't take half an hour to dig them out. But, oh, Lisa's face was scratched in multiple places. Both legs were broken at the knees. And Sean, his injury matched my past life's. I pinched myself and wailed, "Lisa, Sean." I followed the ambulance to the hospital and called my parents. "What? Lisa's the one injured?" I let out a mild yeah. In the previous life, my parents didn't care about my injuries. It was like I wasn't even their kid. "And you?" "I'm not too bad," I said. "Mom lost it." "Why are you fine while Lisa's severely hurt?" "Jane, did you do it on purpose? You've never been a good kid. I shouldn't have left Lisa alone with you," she raged on. The tight string in my heart snapped. They say there's no parent that doesn't love their child. But here it is. I interrupted, annoyed. Lisa needs surgery money. Send over 100,000. Where's your money? You're supposed to be her sister. I hung up without hesitation. In my past life, it wasn't enough that I used my hard-earned money to help my sister, who then went and stole my husband. About 15 minutes later, the money hit my account. Seeing the message for the 200,000 deposit made me shed a couple of tears. Last life, when I was desperately waiting for the money I needed for surgery, my parents both insisted they had no money. Yet now, without even knowing the extent of their youngest daughter's injuries, they rushed to send over 200,000. It's so clear who they care about. Wiping my tears away, I quickly bought a high-speed train ticket to the city next door. In my last life, I managed to have 500,000 because I ran a small business. They knew I had money and would definitely come back for more. This time, even if I had to throw it to the dogs, I wouldn't give them a single cent. After safely transferring the money to another account, I hurried back. By then, Lisa's surgery was over too. Doctor, how's my sister? There's not much to worry about, but, said the doctor, pushing up his glasses. I bit my tongue to keep from smiling. The patient's right foot was crushed by a stone. It's irreparable. We did all we could. Her right foot. I couldn't wait and rushed to the ward to take a look. Seeing Jane's right leg ending in a stump made me smile. Who says the heavens aren't watching? Karma has arrived, hasn't it? With much pleading, Sean and Lisa were placed in the same hospital room, one without a right foot, the other needing extensive surgery for a broken spine. They really do suit each other. Plus, I saw Sean's mom once in my last life. She's quite domineering. Her son is injured. There's no way she won't come, right? The hospital room will surely get lively. That afternoon, my parents hurried back. Lisa was still under anesthesia and hadn't woken up. Oh my precious daughter, how could you suffer so much? Jane, what kind of sister are you? Since childhood, how have I taught you? You should rather be hurt yourself than let anything happen to your sister. I chuckled. That's exactly what I did in the past life. And what did I get in return? They fed off my flesh and blood, leaving me to die helpless. Seeing how energetically they scolded me, I pulled Lisa's blanket off. My mom froze for a second, then gasped. Lisa, what happened to Lisa's foot? Seeing her tremble made me feel even colder inside. She never really lacked the ability to love. She just didn't love me. Her right foot was crushed, couldn't be saved. As the words fell, my mom swung her hand at me. But too bad. I took a step back, and she missed. How dare you dodge? My dad frowned, rolling up his sleeves, ready to join the fight. I've seen this scene too many times. Out of 365 days, I was beaten about 300 of them. Sometimes Lisa made mistakes, and I got beaten too, for the sake of making an example. But now, I refused to go along passively. I glanced at the nurse's station outside and waved her over. When the nurse entered, I nodded toward my parents. Go on, I challenged. Right now, try hitting me, with a nurse ready to patch me up. The nurse frowned, eyeing my parents differently. What do you think you're doing? She asked. Stop it. I won't listen to their nonsense, they muttered, lowering their hands embarrassingly. The nurse shot them a glare. With all this energy, take care of your daughter instead of making more trouble. My parents needed these doctors and nurses to keep their daughter alive, so they didn't dare mess around. After the nurse left, my parents threatened me quietly. What are you standing there for? Give back the money we transferred to you just now. Oh? I sent them back 50,000. That's it. We gave you 200,000 and you only send back 50,000. I shrugged, feigning innocence. Isn't all this for your daughter's life? Hospitals sure do drain money fast. I'd kept 80,000 for myself. They threatened to check the bank statement, but before they could, another dramatic cry came from the doorway. Sean, my poor boy. I smiled. His mom came just in time. Now, let alone checking bank statements, dealing with her would already drain my parents. Sean lay there, bandaged all over. His mom rushed in crying, making it hard for him to place his hands. What happened to my son, and why is he in such a bad shape? Jane, tell me, how did this happen? Unaware of the situation, my parents watched the commotion nonchalantly. I sighed softly and began to speak. Sean is my sister's savior. He had already escaped, but went back to save Lisa when he saw she was still inside. But unfortunately, there was an aftershock which, my parents, who were amused just moments ago, suddenly stopped smiling. Sean's mom froze, then slapped her thighs, wailing, "Oh my God, my fine son ended up like this saving your daughter. Where's the doctor? Someone tell me what's wrong with Sean right now." My parents wanted to scold me, but were too busy to do so. The commotion on Sean's side was so intense that it caught the attention of a journalist. When I saw the camera, my blood boiled with excitement. Yes, let it blow up. Let the world see what happened here. I wanted to see how far my dear parents would go for their precious daughter. Sean's mom was already being interviewed over there. While everyone was distracted, I sneaked out to bring back the doctor. Sean's mom hadn't yet grasped her son's real condition. By the time I returned, a crowd had gathered around the hospital room. What's everyone doing out here? The patient needs rest. With the doctor's order, most of the people started dispersing. Sean's mom, who was just tearfully recounting her son's heroic deeds, paused when she saw the doctor. It was like she found a lifeline. Doctor, how's my son doing? Why is he wrapped in so many bandages? You have to do everything you can to save him. He's a hero. Meanwhile, my parents stood nearby, looking like ostriches burying their heads in the sand. After all, her daughter was the one he saved. The doctor frowned slightly. Sean, right? His spine got crushed by a rock. He urgently needs surgery. The surgery cost and recovery expenses are no small fees. You need to gather money quickly. Sean's mom wavered and her lips trembled. Tears fell. We're just a regular rural family. Where would we get that kind of money? Hearing this, my parents quickly pulled me aside, silently warning me not to say anything. But after a moment of silence, the doctor said, "Didn't he get hurt saving someone? Maybe try contacting the family of the person he saved." Sean's mom immediately turned to look at us. I felt my parents stiffen. The room was noisy, and the doctor no longer allowed media interviews. After everyone left, the room fell into an unsettling silence. Sean's mom glared at us like she wanted to devour our whole family, but my parents kept their heads down, playing dumb. After 2 minutes of this, Sean's mom stepped over, eyeing my sister. The doctor said your daughter isn't hurt too bad, right? Just lost a foot. She laughed bitterly. If my son hadn't risked his life, who knows if your daughter would even be alive? My mom tried to speak, but was cut off. You heard what the doctor said, right? My son saved your daughter's life. You owe it to help with the medical fees. Start by transferring $50,000 to my account. My parents initially seemed to feel guilty, but the moment they heard $50,000, they refused. Is your son's life that valuable to demand 50 grand? That's outrageous, my dad argued. When my daughter saw, it was already too late. Your son barely stepped in before the building collapsed. He didn't save her, he blocked the path. If he hadn't suddenly run in, who knows, my daughter might have been fine. I wasn't surprised by my parents' absurd logic. They handled me the same way in my past life. When I lay sick in bed, my mom fed Lisa chicken soup brewed for hours, while I only got porridge and pickled vegetables. She would whine to the doctor about how hard it was for them, claiming I was giving them a hard time, and refused the soup. Later, as I lay dying, my spirit hovered above, watching her try to force my eyes closed. You chose this, being restless. Who's that for? You're cursed from the start. My Lisa was always lucky. She would have escaped without you. She even hit my cheeks in anger. I couldn't speak then, but Sean's mom sure had a way with words. What are you babbling about? Plenty of people saw my son rushing to save your daughter. With a mom like you, no wonder your daughter behaves this way. Sean's mom declared, I'm going to stay here until you get that money sorted out. My son's my life, and if I can't find peace, neither will you. At first, my parents scoffed at her. They mocked her, calling her an uneducated, loud rural woman. What could a small-town lady do here? But eventually, they panicked. Unable to collect the money, Sean's mom resorted to making their life difficult. She'd interrupt Lisa's medicine intake, or try to disrupt her for. She was relentless. After 2 days, my parents were exhausted, while I pretended to worry, but secretly relished the chaos. They had to take shifts guarding, afraid she'd sneak in. After 2 days, they were visibly worn out. Then, Lisa fully regained consciousness. My parents, scared of upsetting her, hesitated to say she lost a foot. But Sean's mom laid it all out. You've been through a lot. When I'm better, I'll take care of Sean. Even if my sister is his girlfriend. She was spoiled growing up. Don't mind her, Lisa stated politely. Already unhappy with my recent attitude, Sean's mom rolled her eyes at me. My son's unlucky to have a girlfriend like you. I jumped in, then break up. Not a chance. As Lisa stayed awake longer, Sean's situation couldn't be hidden. 2 days later, Sean woke up, realizing he might be paralyzed. He snapped, You need to get me money for treatment now. Mom, I'm your only son. I'm only 25. I can't be bedridden forever. Listening, I smirked. It's true. Nobody can truly understand how someone else feels. When my own accident happened, I was just 24, and I too had no choice but to wait for death. As soon as Sean said this, his mom jabbed at my mom's face. Did you hear that? Hurry up and give me the money for my son's surgery. He's our only child. No matter how cruel you are, you can't let our family die out, can you? Lisa looked around, totally confused. My mom, hands on her hips, fired back. No money, just one life. Live or die, what's it got to do with us? And let's be real, if it weren't for your son, my daughter wouldn't have lost her foot. My dad nudged my mom hard, but it was too late. Lisa struggled to sit up. Mom, what do you mean? What happened to my foot? Oh no, sweetie. I was just messing around. Sean's mom chuckled, calmer. Lisa hesitantly pulled back the covers. Her ankle was bandaged, and there was nothing below. Mom, where's my foot? What happened? Lisa cried, breaking Sean's heart. All he could do was stand there, anxious. I can't go on, Mom. Sis, why didn't you take me with you when you left? One call, and none of this would have happened. Everyone turned to look at me, eyes full of anger and disgust. Both families seemed to wish I was dead to pay for this mess. But nope, I'm going to live well, and throw gasoline on this fire. I put on a look of helplessness. Lisa, you often go out drinking and only come back the next day. How was I supposed to know if you were home? I called you several times before leaving. You didn't respond, so I left on my own. As soon as I said that, Sean's face changed. Lisa gave Sean a side eye and then got furious. Who are you saying goes out drinking? Mom, you know I never stay out all night, right? Unfortunately, my mom missed Lisa's hint. It's all your sister's fault. How did she not notice you came home that night? Playing the victim, I ran out with teary eyes and found somewhere quiet to make a call. Is this reporter Chen? I have a recording for you. I used work as an excuse and spent 2 stress-free days at a hotel. The hospital, probably still in chaos. 2 days later, I showed up early. Coincidentally, Sean was pushed out for some tests, and I overheard Lisa and our parents talking. Mom, are you really not going to give Sean the money? But Sean saved me. My parents were firm. No. Silly girl, do you know how much his mom is asking for? We need to save our money for your dowry. What will you do if we give it away? A woman's dowry is her strength after marriage. Hearing it was about her own interest, Lisa immediately went silent. Just as I was about to walk in, she glanced at our parents. Mom, Dad, doesn't my sister make a lot of money from her business? The three of them exchanged a look and smiled together. My money doesn't count as money. Mine's just to plug their holes and drain away. I lowered my eyes, let out a cold laugh, and walked in without a change in expression. They looked guilty. My mom clucked in annoyance. Don't you know to knock before you come in? My dad frowned and nudged her, then shockingly handed me an apple. Guess it was the first time ever. Growing up, anything Lisa ate was neatly plated. As for me, I had to settle for the dried up leftovers or the rotten ones. I ignored the apple and sat down, looking troubled. For some reason, my mom never liked me. Even needing my help didn't stop her from scolding. Your sister's not well, and you're sulking. What's wrong? You pull that face every day. Someone might think we're mistreating you. Lisa gave her a look and tried to get chummy with me. Sis, what's wrong? You left for 2 days while I was in the hospital. Is something up? Don't be mad at Mom. She's just exhausted these days. See that? My dear sister always manages to throw the blame on me in a few words. This time, I played along, sighing. Sighing again. What's the matter? Just spill it. Maybe our family earthquake is because you keep sighing. What little? I cut off my mom, trying to look teary-eyed. My business is in trouble. What? All three of them looked at me, wide-eyed and in sync. If I hadn't overheard their chat earlier, I might have thought they were genuinely concerned. What did you do? My mom gave me a shove on the shoulder. We told you to work that job. Instead, you had to mess around with your ventures. Now look, the family can't count on you for anything. If you're out of money, get out of here. We're not housing freeloaders. Finally, the words I've been waiting for. I put on a heartbroken look. Mom, you wouldn't disown your daughter just because I have no money, right? Get lost. My mom continued to curse me, ignoring Dad and Lisa's attempts to calm her. Why come back if you're broke? Get away from us. I turned and left without looking back. Surprisingly, I felt no sadness, only relief. It's been a week since Sean's accident. His mom must be losing patience. The next day, the internet exploded with a recording, the very one I sent the reporter. My mom's unreasonable voice went viral. No money, just one life, live or die, what's it got to do with us? And let's be real, if it weren't for your son, my daughter wouldn't have lost her foot. Scrolling through the comments with a face mask on nearly had me in tears, from laughter. Why doesn't this old witch just drop dead? If everyone were like you, there wouldn't be any decent people left in the world. You know what they say, good people die young while the wicked live long. Why don't you just hurry up and take your son's place? I can't believe this. I suggest you kill yourself. My mom's an elementary school teacher, and even though she's getting up there in years, she still surfs the web. I'm pretty sure she'll see these comments. That afternoon, a bunch of videos started popping up online. Some folks who felt bad for Sean went to the hospital. From the videos, it looked like phones were practically shoved in my parents' and Lisa's faces. Did you really say love it or leave it? Your daughter's life is precious, but others' lives aren't. You're a teacher for the future generation. Is that a joke? Lisa, right? Do you agree with your mom? The hero on the bed there got hurt saving you, after all. Lisa's face turned red in the video, and she couldn't even get a word out. Meanwhile, Sean's mom was crying and blasting my family for their terrible actions. This mess was way too big for my parents to handle. The next day, I went undercover to the hospital to see the spectacle. I was shocked as soon as I got to the entrance. Some well-meaning netizen had placed 3 funeral wreaths there, with my parents' and Lisa's names on them. I quietly pulled down my hat and hurried in. As soon as I hit the hallway, I heard a ruckus. Shockingly, even Lisa and Sean were arguing. If you guys don't pay for the surgery, don't expect any more treatment, Sean's mom shouted. She then smashed the 4 Lisa needed to take and was even live streaming it. My mom got furious and started grappling with her. Because of you, I lost my job. I was 5 years away from retirement. It's all your fault. And now you want to bully my daughter. I'm taking you down with me. They started pulling each other's hair. My mom, who used to pride herself on being cultured, had turned into a brawler. My dad tried to break it up, but ended up joining the fray. Lisa and Sean just stayed in bed and yelled at each other. If I'd known your family was like this, I wouldn't have saved you. Sean said, you aren't even as good as my sister's thumb, Lisa replied. She had more energy and was hurling apples in frustration. The fight was getting bigger, dragging even the hospital staff into it. I quietly dialed 911. Hi, officer. There's a fight going on at the hospital. They're attacking the staff. The chaos was so bad that neither family could handle it themselves, so the police had to get involved. If they can't come to an agreement, legal action might be the only solution. With so many people watching, the police promised to share the final outcome. I remembered in my past life, when I needed surgery, that it cost about 600,000 yuan. My parents might have enough saved up. After thinking it over, I snuck back home. Sean's mom had figured out how to play the victim online, and she started raising money through streaming. Sean couldn't wait anymore. Before bed that night, Sean called me. His voice was shaky. Jane, you haven't visited me in forever. Do you think I'm useless now and plan to leave me? I miss you. This mess between our families isn't about you. Could you come see me? I almost believed him if it weren't for his mom throwing dirt on me in her live stream. People online were speculating about my motives. Girls, they're all the same. Remember that. Her family's caught up in this mess, but she's nowhere to be found. Wake up, influencer. Surgery is key. Can't keep stalling for money. I laughed softly. They thought they could squeeze money out of me by staying together. If we broke up, they'd trash me publicly. I replied calmly, you're saying I don't want you. Sean, why'd you go against the flow to help my sister during the earthquake? I didn't even know she was home. I was already outside, but she ran in. You two that close? As the comments on the live stream shifted, I chuckled again. You won't use clueless people against me. Sean tried contacting me several more times, but I refused. I bet they're out of options now. When negotiations with the police went nowhere, both families had to go to court. But Sean couldn't wait. He knew I had some money. Later, he even started a crowdfunding campaign. Lisa couldn't handle the pressure and was discharged. I heard their house got vandalized with red paint. 2 days later, I got a call from Lisa. You're not coming home, even though there's so much going on. Is your heart made of stone? Mom's in the hospital. In the hospital. I went the next day. What happened? Lisa was back to herself, even pointing a finger at me to smear my name. You have the nerve to ask. It's all because of your boyfriend. He demanded $700,000 in damages. We're being hounded by crazed netizens. Mom saw our house covered in red paint and had a heart attack. Oh, she got scared. Are we talking about Sean, my boyfriend, now? Lisa blushed. You don't know what you're talking about. I rolled my eyes, but just then, a vase shattered at my feet, telling Jane to drop dead. Looks like my mom still has some strength. Now I can hang up the phone without worry. A week later, Sean's mom went live saying she received $600,000 in compensation. Seems like my mom and the others actually gritted their teeth and paid up. People online were all congratulating her. But it's been so long. Is Sean still able to get surgery? After wrapping up my own stuff, I sent a file to the Education Bureau. It's evidence I've gathered recently, showing my mom's private tutoring activities over the past decade. Once this was made public, it caused quite a stir online. Such a person doesn't deserve to be a teacher. Let's vote her out of here ASAP. Everybody seemed eager to pile on, and many parents, whose kids took her tutoring classes, reported her. Not just for tutoring, but for often insulting and belittling students in class. One parent filed a report with their real name, saying, "My son is lively and active, but this teacher called him a disgrace, a parasite to society, and made him stand in the hallway all day. My kid has already lost interest in school and is only in 3rd grade." My mom's guilt was big. After an investigation, the Education Bureau fired her and demanded repayment of all the illegal earnings from the past 5 years. As for the student who was insulted and belittled, my mom had to apologize to them in person. They had already drained their savings for Sean's payment, and now they had to repay earnings. Where's the money coming from? Lisa was raised like a little princess by them, with a monthly salary of $3,000, but it all went on luxury goods. Lisa spent all that money long ago. That day, my mom sent me a message. Her tone was harsh. Give me $300,000. I was shocked by the number. Is there really that much from 5 years of tutoring? Then why, when I just started working and needed surgery for acute appendicitis, did my mom say there was no money? Thinking about it, I took a deep breath and replied, I don't have it. Later, I heard they sold the house. A video of my mom apologizing to that student was also going around. For someone who had been proud her whole life, she now had a few strands of gray hair. It was my first time seeing her so humbled. As for Lisa, she lost everything due to the previous incident and had been fired from her former job. She was having a hard time finding work, with nowhere willing to hire her. A friend said they spotted her at a KTV, working as a karaoke hostess, all bruised and battered. I get it. With a face quite similar to mine, I would sometimes get unjustified insults when I was out. Once all this chaos was sorted out, I left the city. I've been trying to distance myself from my family since I graduated college. Luckily, I've managed to do it. My business in the neighboring city has started to take off. While on the train, I came across Sean's mom's live stream again. She had the camera on Sean, who was sitting in a wheelchair. Please send a gift. My son didn't get surgery in time and is now permanently paralyzed. If kind people help, maybe my son can survive. She kept repeating those few sentences, but the viewers in her live stream were dwindling. Using the same thing for attention, people eventually become immune to sympathy. I scrolled and blocked Sean's mom's account. I'm going to chase my bright future. These annoying people and things should stay behind for good. The end.